I'm an agribusiness professional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a vet doctor. I'm not an agronomist. But I have staff
Mm-hmm.
who do that, who are agronomists, who are vet doctors, who are highly qualified.
Mm-hmm.
It's the entrepreneurship side that makes you create a winning vehicle.
Right.
Provide these services.
You need to pick up new skills for sure if you're going to be here. We don't want people to think that, I went to, Howard University or Harvard.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it matters and then it doesn't. You have to pick to survive here. You have to have additional skills that you don't have, that you don't need in America, but you definitely need them here. What's good, Kinganda? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. I'm here in Kampala, Uganda with another episode here on the podcast. And today I'm here with a very talented brother. I saw him actually with Jonita, but he was so talented I had to come meet him myself. Brother Gene, I'll let him explain what he does.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for hosting me again. My name is Gene Kawa. I'm the team leader at Africa Agribusiness Services Limited. We ideally have 5 core service pillars. The first one is access to finance, right from the smallholders needing small financial interventions to the larger SMEs needing larger capital. We facilitate that process. The second thing we do is access to mechanization, tractors, silos, post-harvest handling equipment, processing equipment, irrigation equipment. We also do turnkey solutions. We set up factories and all the mechanization that's required, and we give you a turnkey solution. So the third thing we do is skills impartation programs. We train farmers on a number of modules: farming as a family business, financial literacy, post-harvest handling, the gender aspects of agriculture, good agricultural practices to support them to become better farmers, increase their production. So the fourth thing we do is food supply and distribution. Currently, we are big on meats supply and now also grains and food supplies, horticulture. Then the fifth thing we do is management and advisory services. So we are currently managing some commercial farms for clients in the diaspora. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Now, I believe my manager, Jonita, she was like, you got to meet this guy. And I came and we had a really wonderful conversation. And I was explaining a lot of the people that have watched your broadcast. I know you said you've gotten some clients that come in because of it locally and some calls internationally.
Yes.
But a lot of people want to invest in Africa and they're not tied to Uganda. Like me, I'm an African American, didn't know anybody in Africa until 2017. But people are seeing the opportunities. But there are a lot of people that want to invest in the agriculture sector and just in general. And you came up to me with an idea about the do's and don'ts of investments from the diaspora. Why was that such a good topic for you?
I know that there's lots of, from my interactions, there's lots of people in the diaspora who are keen on investing in the local market. But they have a lot of challenges in terms of actually identifying what they should invest in. What are the support infrastructure and services available? Who can they trust to get things done? And who will implement what they need to do? So a lot of them are stuck in a situation where they have ability to invest, but they are not able to invest. So this is a service that we reached out to offer some of those clients. Yes.
Which means that, in theory, a client can invest in farming and you can manage it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But,
we do that.
but in general, for somebody that's like me, I know the Ugandans that are abroad, it's much easier for them because they have family that's here. They're tied to understand some of the local languages.
Yes.
But what if you're a person such as myself? You've grown up in Detroit or Memphis or one of the black cities or just in California like me, and you want to make an investment in Uganda. What are some of the things that you would say that you can do and some of the things that you can not do?
Okay. First of all, for a black American like you to want to invest on his ancestral continent, it's a very humbling initiative, and I think it's we have the onus or the moral onus to assist and make it easier and viable for our brothers and sisters elsewhere, but even other investors interested in this market. So when I look at a country like Uganda, Uganda is a country that's astride the equator. So we have 2 agricultural seasons annually. So you're able to grow in most areas. You're able to grow crops twice a year.
Okay.
Especially the short-term crops. We have about 14% water cover as a country.
Okay.
So we have fertile soils. There's not much input into production processes. So it's quite ideal, especially for agricultural investments. And even when you look at the legal requirements, a foreigner can own an investment or a property 100% in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get a leasehold title for a property.
Okay.
Sometimes it's 49 years, others 99 years.
Okay.
So where you can implement your investments. So in terms of climatic conditions, soils, Uganda is very ideal for any agricultural investment. Yeah. But looking at the diaspora, there needed to be a service provider to give anyone intending to invest in this market a soft landing, and that is why we came on board and decided to offer this service. Yes. So land acquisition is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I would advise any investor looking to acquire land in this market to go through the normal process. I would advise you to come and identify this land.
Okay.
You can access or purchase or lease several acres of land. Square miles. They are available in several parts of the country. Yeah, on lease, but make sure you follow the procedures. Make sure you know the land demarcations.
Okay.
So that ideally means that you will be required physically at some point. A lot of the people like investing from away, but definitely you're going to be required at some point. Come identify your land, know the mark stones, and verify the actual size of the land before you pay and receive your title.
Okay.
So that will secure your investment. So sometimes you find some people find squatters or occupants on the pieces of land that they have purchased. So I normally advise my clients not to evict these people. You can maybe involve them in labor, providing labor for your enterprise, or involve them in some of the activities. For example, if you're going to do processing or sorting of the produce, involve these people and give them work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important that you buy their friendship, and you can also adopt inclusive models, in the sense that, for example, if I'm producing say cotton on 1 square mile, how do I double my production? Get these people and give them seed, and let them produce and increase your production. Yeah, so it's important that you adopt a friendly approach.
Okay.
To a lot of these people.
Okay.
So not all the time squatters enemies or land grabbers.
Okay.
Yeah, you can mitigate them in your whole production process.
Right.
Yes. So after you do that, I see a lot of investors coming with interesting projects, and unfortunately, one of the big mistakes made is they make high projections at the beginning. For any production project has a lot. They are always loose ends. Yeah, as much as you come with the best technical expertise, as much as you come with the most experienced people, the context of business in Uganda is different. Yeah, I once had a client from South Africa who was producing, I think, 3 tons of corn, of maize per acre.
Okay.
And he was trying to replicate it in Uganda, and I told him it won't work. South African farming or Uruguayan farming or anywhere is different from Ugandan farming. So as you bring a project, it's important to contextualize.
Right.
Yes, and understand the market, understand the production, understand the climate.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would strongly project that anyone investing in agriculture should not look at profits in the first, second season.
Okay.
It's in the third season when you've understood your operations better,
Right.
understood your operational leakages, understood your cost cutting that you can undertake in the production process.
Okay.
So from that, you're going to be able to have a profitable enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah. So if when you start, even when you're producing and you're now selling, it's important that you initially target the local and regional markets.
Okay.
Uganda is the food basket for this region.
Okay.
We are supplying Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, Rwanda, Congo with food.
Right.
So there is abundance of local market that has minimal certifications and limitations to provide or send that food, export that food. So, but definitely there are lucrative markets in the Middle East, in Europe, in America, that someone can look into.
Okay.
But I would advise that would be after you've been able to test the local and regional market.
Well, let me kind of stop there, because that's one thing that I like about you being so transparent. People want to come, from America, where you get everything right away. The microwave, and there's McDonald's, and there's Amazon Prime, and it happens right away. And one thing I like that you do with your clients is you set the expectations that agribusiness or any business in Africa, it takes time for things to happen. And I'm glad you said looking for the third season, because a lot of people are not coming with enough money. We had a situation in Tanzania where a lot of people had to go back. But as far as the expectations, even with the export, focus on the local markets first. You said that. Focus on getting good at understanding the industry, getting good at that. Let's kind of go back over that again, because a lot of people have never been entrepreneurs before. They've worked really good jobs, and they're coming over here, and now they're the entrepreneur, and they want things to happen right away. How do we set expectations from even Ugandans in America, the African American community, Jamaicans, Caribbeans? How do we set their expectations that it takes time to happen in Uganda?
Okay. Thank you for that. One time I visited a farmer in Iowa.
Okay.
And he showed me some references for his grandfather's. His grandfather originally owned a farm from the 17s.
Wow.
From the 17s.
1700s.
Yes, he had some objects, and there were some structures from the 17s on that farm.
Wow.
Now that is a 10th generational farmer.
Wow.
So for me as a first, second generational farmer to stand up and say I have it all right is a gross mistake. It takes time. I'm glad that you mentioned McDonald's. For McDonald's to create a system, a working system, to be able to bring a product instantly on the table, it's taken almost 100 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. So it's important that we as Africans understand that we are on the growth journey. We are not mature. Our business structures are not so mature. The most mature value chain in Uganda is coffee. Coffee was introduced in Uganda in the 1960s. And so currently there is a clear market, there are clear producers, there is a clear chain up to export. But that has taken time, over 50 years. So as we start businesses, there's profitability in them, but the issue is sustainability. Because you do not want to produce today and then tomorrow you're out of business. And that's an African problem. I see Indians involving their children from day one in the business. So there are lessons that are learned over time. And that is a fact of life. Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in South America, whether you're in Australia, there are challenges of entrepreneurship.
Right.
And reality hits you head on. Then you say, yeah. So a business plan is just a projection. It's a paper. But realities are different. But over time, things work out. So I've seen farms become very, very profitable after 2-3 years. I've seen farms that had very big potential give up after 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's important that you manage your expectations. You're not going to come from the ground to the sky in 1 year. No.
Right.
Everything there's a growth curve. And there's a learning curve that you have to go through. And I'll tell you this, from the hundreds of farms that I've visited, no two farms are the same. Not even if they are neighbors. Either one has a more trustworthy manager. There's always a difference. So you have to go through that process until you become profitable.
Let me ask you about the agribusiness industries, because there are many. You know, we were talking about rabbit now. There's I met your mother, who's the best poultry farmer, and she's gonna teach me. You know, we gonna when I come back. So there's poultry. We visited pig farms, and so people are looking at the content that's not even just on my channel, but you know, there's Seeds of Gold here. And so people from the diaspora, especially Ugandan diaspora, they're watching these different things. There's turkey, there's avocado planting. You know, there's everything that you can get into in Uganda that you can serve for the local market or regional, like you said, Congo, Tanzania. So people are going to say, well, listen, which one? There's so many opportunities for the agribusiness sector in Uganda. Which ones could I choose? Or because again, if you're from California like me, you can't even get into farming because it's already like the commercial people have already taken it over. It's too expensive. So we haven't had that experience as of recently, unless you may live in the South. But how do you pick, let's say, an industry, you don't know anything about it, but you want to start? And let's say if you're from America, you want to pick an industry. Is there anything that you can do before you come to Uganda to kind of get abreast of how the industry works or how it generally works?
Okay. One of the biggest questions that people tell me is, what is the most profitable venture? And to me, that is that is a very wrong question, because everything is profitable. Everything is profitable.
Right.
Pigs might work very well in eastern Uganda. Maybe avocados might work well in the north.
Okay.
Everything is profitable. Yes, there are different climatic conditions. But
Right.
to me, it's more of the passion and commitment. It's more of the passion and commitment. You might have had a good experience with rabbits when you are a child or something.
Okay.
So if you're committed to that, you'll definitely succeed in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we go about, and I want to kind of go back to the squatters.
Please.
Let's go back to that. Because what you said was so important, having a change of mindset, because in America, if you have property and you see people on your property, you're like, get the hell off my property. But I noticed that since I've been coming to Uganda, and I'm trying to tell people that my mindset has changed dramatically. I'm more patient now, and I'm more understanding of how things work, even though it's different from America, but that doesn't mean it is wrong, right? So if you find squatters on your land, and you made a very good comment, instead of kicking them off your land, look at how these people can be of use to you.
Yes.
Now that's very un-American. I believe that it's right. I know that it's right. But Americans have to kind of train themselves to think like that. You've been to America many times, so you understand how Americans can think.
Yes.
How can it be that Americans can change their attitude, or especially the black community coming from the England and France and America coming here? How important is it for them to change their perception of how things work and understanding the cultures here to be able to do business?
Yeah, it's important in you to always change your mindset to the context of the people or the area where you're going to invest. An example is in the north, we are setting up a coffee farm, but the land has quotas. So what we are doing is we are turning these quotas. We've first of all written down their names, and we've clustered them and made POs into them. POs are producer organizations. So the cluster farm is going to have 500 acres of coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've made POs. We are making POs of 25 people. Each allocated 50 acres to tend to, and they are going to provide us with paid for labor. So by involving them, we've even given them a structure. Each PO has a chairman and different people with different positions. So by involving them like that, they become part of your investment. I look at an example like of a South African farmer who decided to conflict with the squatters. And he's in an area where elephants come and sometimes destroy the crops. But because he made enemies out of the people, they would not assist him to chase away the elephants. And they would come and destroy his crops. So that is a scenario that you have to avoid. And sometimes these people don't need much. And we should realize that before being businessmen, we are human beings. Yeah. So if you take humanity into your business side of things, that way you'll make more friends than enemies. And that will prosper your business.
I see. Let's kind of talk about, because when we do these things, people want to know, because we talked about real estate, but so now we know that any industry can be profitable as long as you're dedicated.
As long as you're dedicated, yes.
Tomatoes, so you just pick one if you're passionate. But then people want to, know, like, if I'm going to come to Uganda, how much money? I know we've asked it to you before, but what kind of money should I be looking? So if I know I want to do tomato, do I come and get a consultation from you and then you tell me what do I need to build or save towards to be able to make it happen? How does that process work? Because it's kind of in the gray area for a lot of people.
Okay, definitely it depends on the scale of investment that you want to do. But the best analysis is the profitability per acre.
Okay.
Yeah, based on that you can project. For example, if you know I need $1,000 to produce 1 acre of tomatoes, and I'll be able to produce say 8 tons of tomatoes, and I'll be able to earn say $2,500. That is the profitability. These are my costs. So based on that, you scale up. Maybe if I can have $1,000 per acre, why don't I do 20 acres? So that's how you look at your investment. Yeah.
Let me kind of go back to the situation of the land thing.
Yes.
There's some things that you should do. 2 things: land and partnering with other farmers. Let me kind of start actually with the partner with other farmers, because I know someone, Sylvia Nadakunza, and she was telling me that sometimes people want to, if they don't understand the farming themselves, they want to possibly, let's say invest with the farmer. And she told me that if you're ever going to do something like that, number one, you need an attorney. And you never disperse money, because people do that on YouTube. People see people and they just give them money. Like, here's $15,000, and then the money's gone.
Nothing happens.
Right. But so let's talk about that. Let's say, for example, if you're a person that you want to partner with somebody who's already in the industry, how does that work? And then we'll go to land acquisition after that. But if you say, okay, there's a person that's already in farming, but I have more capital and they want to scale their project up, what's the legal way to go about that and pay distributors and stuff like that?
Definitely you need a lawyer for a partnership. Partnerships are sticky world over, not just in Uganda, but everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So you'll need a lawyer. You'll understand your terms and the deliverables for both parties.
Okay. Yeah,
before you invest. Yeah. But ideally for us, we do outgrower schemes. For example, if you're one farmer and say you have a 300-acre farm of cotton, but you need extra production, so you recruit 500 farmers, give them seeds, and then they all produce and bring their produce to you. So we do those agreements and management of the whole process. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you also do, let's say, for example, because I know there is a particular guy that's in the West. He's a goat breeder. In fact, he's getting his PhD in that from Mercury. But the scenario was that he just didn't have the capital needed. He understood the industry, but to go to the next level, he just didn't have the capital. Are those things that you also position? So let's say if you have a farmer that's farmer A, and the person's knowledgeable, but they don't have a lot of capital, and then you're like may manage it for them. Is that something that you've seen happen here too also, or?
Yeah, there are lots of entities with different challenges. Of course, capital is a problem. Our capital in the third world is expensive. A loan of 20% will not benefit a farmer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so our capital is expensive, but we look at different partners. Luckily, there are a few other options for farmers, but it's one thing to have agricultural knowledge. It's another thing to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, you can have the knowledge as a PhD holder, but you might not have the resilience of an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Being an entrepreneur is a business. So it's more of business knowledge beyond genetics, how to grow animals.
Right.
It's a different knowledge set.
Let me interrupt you there, because we talked about that extensively when I came here last week. And I was saying, Gene, a lot of people in America, because me and you, you're much better than me, but we're both in the entrepreneurship world. Yes. We have people work for us and we produce what we do. But I haven't had a job since 2014.
Okay.
Right? And so I've been kind of on this path for like 6 years. And even then I was failing in entrepreneurship. You have a class of people that have come from Uganda and went to Europe, and they've went to the United States, and they've made a lot of money in the skilled laborers. Maybe they're physicians, maybe they're doctors. They may have investments, but they don't. As far as being entrepreneurs, that's not them. They come to Africa, and that's the only way you can survive is entrepreneurship, or you die here.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
How do we help a class of people that Africa's lost children that have been in the West and they've never had to own the business, but yet they can survive? And then they come to a climate like this where if you don't know how to run the business, just at the very basic minimum, you suffer, you die, you become homeless. How do you bridge that gap for those people that don't understand how entrepreneurship works?
Okay, thank you for that question. Entrepreneurship is a whole new different skill set. You can have the ability to be a doctor, to be an engineer, or to be a pilot. But in most cases, it's either an entrepreneur who will own the hospital, who will own the construction firm,
yes,
or who will own the airplane company or something. Yeah, it's a whole new different skill set. But it's such a beauty if any professional is able to manage to merge the two. You're a technical engineer and you're able to set up your own company.
Yes.
And override the storms of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
It's a whole new skill set. I like when you referred to Enterprise Uganda. I think they've done a lot for the young population in Uganda.
Yeah. Charles Oshichi, amazing.
Yeah. So it is not something. I keep sharing with people that financial literacy is needed at all levels.
Right.
People think farmers and bottom of the pyramid communities need financial literacy, but we all do.
Yes.
Even presidents. Yes. So we all need financial literacy, and with that comes also entrepreneurship. And with that, we'll know how to manage resources and maximize the benefits. So anyone in the diaspora coming into Uganda, definitely it's a whole new setup, whole new economic system. Yes, you can. It's not rocket science. It's easy to override, but you must be able to accept the ups and downs before the journey can become smooth. Yeah. So entrepreneurship is something that I think should be compulsory. I think I like what the Chinese are doing. They are training their children at elementary level, because it's a life skill. It's the ability to multiply or apply yourself. It's a life skill that is paramount, even above your technical skills. Because, for example, I'm an agribusiness professional. I'm not a vet doctor. I'm not an agronomist. But I have staff who do that, who are agronomists, who are vet doctors, who are highly qualified. It's the entrepreneurship side that makes you create a winning vehicle,
right?
Provide these services. Yeah, so that is core.
Okay.
You must adopt or learn or undertake an entrepreneurship course to be able to apply yourself.
So I want to make sure that you guys see this in the camera. I'm looking at the camera. You need to pick up new skills for sure if you're going to be here. We don't want people to think that, I went to, Howard University or Harvard. Yeah. It matters, and then it doesn't. You have to pick to survive here. You have to have additional skills that you don't have, that you don't need in America, but you definitely need them here. Let me kind of go to the land acquisition, because also something that's very cloudy. People who are from, America, real estate, if you buy it, you own it.
Yes.
here we're not citizens.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of, and this is the don'ts, there's a lot of real estate scams that are going on.
Yes.
Not even just for Americans, even Ugandans get scammed out of real estate also. It happens here.
Yes.
What are some of the best ways if you're going to buy property or land or lease, as you say, for 40 to 99 years? What's the best way to go through that so that you don't lose your money because you can't farm without the land?
Okay. So one, it's important that you are here physically. Two, do not deal with middlemen or even your attorneys or lawyers. Yes, you can engage them, but ensure that you first of all meet the actual owner of the land that you're purchasing. Secondly, be directly involved with the registration offices. Yeah, and then you get your title physically and handle it yourself. Otherwise, do not delegate much to middlemen or individuals or pay exorbitantly for certain services that are said to be important. So it's important that you're physically involved and you verify at each phase. But otherwise, you shouldn't have problems.
Let me ask you this also, because you're one of the few people that I hear saying, "Hey, this is Africa," in so many words. I'm gonna break it down in my American slang. Hey, man, this is Africa. You have to be here. This is not a place where you just send money and you don't show up. A lot of people want to just have that. Oh, I have an investment in Africa that I never check on. And they don't come. Africa is an in-your-face. Uganda's an in-your-face business world. People want to see you. They don't want to talk to you on email or WhatsApp. No, this is like, no, come see me. How important is it for people to understand that they have to be here and commit to coming here and commit to spending time here to make things work?
Obviously, the world is becoming digitized.
Right.
We have WhatsApp, we have videos, we have all sorts of real-time communication channels that we can use. But with that said, it's important to regularly come and check your investment.
Right.
Even for the investment firms that we are managing, we ask them to regularly come, and we must have a quarterly strategic meeting with the investor to decide the way forward. Troubleshoot any challenges that are rising, but also decide the strategy going forward. So you will not invest and sit back.
Right.
Yeah. At some point, you're definitely going to be physically required to come and verify. Otherwise, we don't want a situation where you're unaware of your investment.
Right.
Yeah, we are not interested in such scenarios.
So they need to also not only just be involved in coming, but understanding the industry that they've chosen.
Well, you might not understand it because for us as a firm, we'll run it for you.
Right.
We'll show you the decisions we are taking.
Right.
The decisions that require strategy and your input will be on the table.
Right.
So you'll contribute to those decisions. Yes.
Right.
But I want to see you physically, say once a year or once every 3 years maximum. But you have to be physically involved because it is yours.
Right.
Hey.
Right.
It's yours, yes. I want you to come and check the books of accounts. Okay, not at least see the core issues,
right?
The profitability,
right?
Your return on investment,
right?
It's important. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I've been running into a lot of African Americans here as of recently. I ran into one brother from Dallas, one brother from Detroit, one guy from Atlanta, and they recognize me. Baltimore. So I'm starting to see a lot of people come here to Uganda. And one of my friends here is King Obatunde, told me he sees a lot of people now. But there's other countries. So I'm going to put you in a tough situation. I know you've been all over the world, all over Africa. There's Ghana. There's Nigeria. There's Zambia, who's really good in farming. Next door, you have Kenya. There's Rwanda. What makes Uganda different? If you had to sell the potential of Uganda, especially in agribusiness, in comparison to these other places in Africa, what makes Uganda so special that one should choose this and not other places?
You know, one time I had a turning point. I was in a desert in a place called Kassala. It's in Sudan, somewhere near the Red Sea. We're doing an agricultural project. And there was a middle-aged man who was watering his tomatoes in the desert. It was 3 p.m. It was so hot that he couldn't even walk. but he still had the commitment to go and water his tomatoes. It was such a painful thing to see. So relating it to Uganda, one, we have 14% water cover. We have a lot of water in this nation. Two, we are astride the equator. We have 2 harvest seasons for production. You can grow maize twice a year, which is not the case in Zambia. Kenya, a lot of Kenya is arid. A lot of Kenya. They say Africa has 60% of the world's unused arable land. In Uganda, it could be 80 or 90.
Wow.
Yeah, unused arable land. Uganda is 28 degrees, 35 degrees maximum almost the whole year. The government restrictions are very minimal. It's quite an open economy.
Yes.
Uganda, it's open for investment. It's open for investment. So yes, there are some challenges,
right,
political, but I would strongly advise anyone investing in agriculture, because if you invest here, we have a lot of regional market, a lot. We are a food basket for this region, and the infrastructure is in place. There are lots of highways leading to different countries that are fully tarmacked. Yeah, there's ability to get the inputs that you need, like the packaging inputs, the fertilizers for production. Yeah, all those are readily available. So I would strongly recommend someone to invest in Uganda if it is agriculture. Yeah, if it is agriculture. And there are mature value chains like coffee, like cotton. There are others that are emerging value chains that are a very big opportunity for anyone who wants to invest. Cocoa, they are quite growing. Things like macadamia trees. They are emerging value chains that are quite profitable.
Okay.
And you find in some of these value chains, you find right from the tip of Uganda to Kabale, you can grow that crop. Some of them, there are very few areas that are not arable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, brother, go ahead and tell them again about your company. I know you've had some people that have become clients just from the 2 short videos that we've done, but tell them again, for those people in the diaspora, what you can offer them as a service if they're abroad, and how they can contact you and things like that.
Okay. The major services that we offer for people in the diaspora, food supply and distribution. If you have international markets and you need to source food locally, you get in touch and we shall supply you. Then the second thing we do is management and advisory. We can manage your farm. We'll do the administration. We'll do the recruitment. We'll do the operations. We'll do the marketing, and we'll do the reporting for you. And we'll also have strategy meetings on the way forward. So we can remotely work with you, and we manage your investment here. Yeah. Our phone number is +256 775 788808. +256 708 788808. So our website is www.agribusiness.com. A is 2 A's. Agribusiness.com. Thank you.
All right, guys. And again, it's been a great episode here at the podcast. Something a little bit different than normal. We thank you guys. Subscribe to Kinganda. All this information will be at the first comment pinned to the top. Check it out there, and keep it real. Kinganda forever. We out.